Hello, I'm Filo. You might remember me from such things as The Reverend Filo Show on YouTube, at The Reverend Filo Show on Instagram, or The Reverend Filo Show on SoundCloud. But enough about me. The episode you're about to watch or listen to was recorded before the government recommended social distancing and stay-at-home order. Here at The Reverend Filo Show, we are all about stopping the spread of COVID-19. And the only way to do that thus far would be to wash your hands and stay at home. So stay safe, be healthy, and tell Scott I do give a damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reverend Filo Show. This is a very special show. As you can see, our camera angles are not normally what they are because we're not in our studio. We're in Jenna's tattoo parlor. Is that what you call it? A parlor?
Studio parlor.
Say hello, Jenna.
Hi.
we don't. You'll see her in the Canon camera. We don't have a camera for her because she's gonna be concentrating on my brand new tattoo.
Brand new tattoo.
And Felipe, you have any tattoos?
No, I have none.
How many tattoos do you have, Jenna?
I have about 7 or 8.
Damn, I want to low key like.
Have you done any of those on your own?
I have one small one on my ankle. What I decided was I wanted to tattoo myself with my machines before I tattooed anybody else.
Right.
So when I first started, I had this little blue circle on my ankle, and I bought another machine like a few months ago, and I covered up that circle with something a little bit bigger before I used it on anybody else. So that's kind of my thing, tattoo myself before I do anybody else.
What happened?
No, we're good.
Okay. It's kind of true what they say. Like when you get a tattoo, it's low key like addicting. Because Jenna did my other tattoos that you can't see at the moment, but yeah, the first one she gave me, I just wanted to get tatted up like instantly, like.
So it's like.
I get it. I got my first one, and I wanted more.
So would you say it's addicting?
It's extremely addicting, and you know me, I'm addictive. I have an addictive personality. Ready to roll?
It can be a dangerous thing if you don't have self-control.
Also true.
Shit.
Paycheck.
All right, so we're ready to tattoo.
We're ready to tat. I don't know how interesting this podcast is gonna be, but I guess we'll give it a shot.
Well, how painful would you say a tattoo was your first tattoo? Painful?
Nah. Ready to roll? I don't know. Like, I think it depends on where you get tatted. If you get tatted, like I heard, like on the okay, hold on, she's gonna start. So let's see. I don't know. It's been a while since I got one, so I don't know.
Okay.
How much it's gonna hurt.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be loud.
Ow. It is kind of hurting. But like I was saying, it depends where you get it. Like I think some parts of the body are a lot more sensitive than others.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, your wrist has, and your ankles, things like that.
Have a lot of nerve endings.
Thin skin, which makes it a little more painful.
Thin skin?
Yeah, for sure. Like this is already noticeably more painful than when I got it. Like I have one on my arm, but on the forearm, not the forearm, but like, and like that one was like, yeah, this isn't so bad, you know.
Yeah.
But this one low key kind of hurts. But she's like right there where like my veins are and stuff. So yeah. So forgive me if I start crying.
Your face though,
It's not so bad. It's like I don't know. It's like getting poked, but like a million times per second, maybe.
I compare it to just dragging a needle across your skin with.
Yeah,
pressure.
exactly what I was gonna say. It's like getting poked. Like imagine like someone poking you, but then like dragging it out across your skin.
yeah, that doesn't sound painful at all.
It's
just a little bit uncomfortable. That's what I would call it.
It's
the longer pieces where you're under the needle for a few hours. It'll start to hurt,
but I think I'll be all right. But man, you know ooh, fuck, man. Oh, we're good. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. It's been a while. I probably should like shot of heroin or something before this completely numb my body.
Damn.
But you know what's funny? I remember back in the day was me, Mario, Anthony, Stanley was probably there, and we were getting drunk as hell as we do, and I think we were probably partaking in substances, and anyways, at one point, Anthony gave Mario a tattoo.
What?
Yeah, he gave him a tattoo.
He had the equipment? And
No,
everything?
he did not. He had he used the
India ink and a needle?
he used the inside of a pen, and then a needle wrapped in cloth, I believe, or some sort of
String, yeah.
some sort of like cloth string, something, and he gave the kid. So like, see,
What
like
the
what Jenna's doing is like her machine, like it's poking my skin. Like how many times a minute does this thing poke me?
I think it's 800 to 1,000 times per second.
Per
Jesus.
second. So this is like, it's going
Yeah.
crazy. So Anthony's going one poke at a time. You know what I'm saying? Poke.
Fuck.
He's not a machine, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So and of course they came out terrible. Like it was very simple, like a couple lines. I think it was like an upside down cross that he did like on fucking
Yeah.
the kid's chest. And earlier when I was pointing out, because Jenna did my first tattoo, and that was not only my first tattoo, but that was Jenna pretty early on when she first started doing tattoos.
Yeah.
It's kind of faded since then, and it's very hard not to focus on the pain. It's all good. We're good. What was I saying?
You were talking
I
about.
feel like I'm being tortured. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you getting anyway? Let's tell everybody what you're
Oh, what am I getting? I'm getting the X-wing from Star Wars. Rory told me I should watch Last Skywalker
getting. You should watch it
before I
you
get
this.
it.
You should
But the Last Skywalker. What was
Rise.
it? Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the original trilogy has been part of my life and my whole existence for so long that it's, what do you?
Well,
I was looking up Star Wars tattoos, and there's a lot you could get. There's people who get like crazy
Sleeves with
like
Darth Vader.
like crazy designs like.
Leia underneath.
Yeah, pretty much like how they do the Star Wars like the posters and stuff. With
Right.
has so much detail on it. And then there's cool Star Wars tattoos, sort of like this one, but this is actually even more detailed than some of them. You can look up Google simplistic Star Wars tattoos, and it's just like lines, but they
the one you're getting kind of looks like a tribal, like it's a Star Wars tribal tattoo.
Right. Well, it was like I actually got this from like a poster, so this wasn't actually a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
I looked up what you sent me, and it's like someone's artwork.
Yeah, it's like artwork, so it's not an actual tattoo. I like to think that the tats I get, that you don't run into them too often, But you could look up tattoos and just be like, oh, and some of them are really cool.
Well, that's like Alex, the guy who works with us. He. You're right there.
Yeah. As you get older, as you grow up, you sort of figure out like what you're into sexually. Pain is not one of them for me, and I'm realizing that at this moment.
Right. Good.
Yeah, I mean, because this is, like.
It's good.
For a brief moment, like Jenna kind of she put a little cream on my arm, and like that felt nice, but that's about it.
Anyway, talking about choosing tattoos.
Oh yeah,
Alex.
Which one?
Alex.
Oh, Alex Becerra. Yeah.
So I asked him how, because he has a bunch of different tattoos. They're pretty cool. They they got color in them, and I asked him like, well, why did you choose these tattoos? Thinking
He says he just gets them, like he goes and points them out in a book, right?
Yeah. They have a book, and he just goes. He points out, that one looks cool. I want that one.
Yeah, but but if he has a
like an artist book, a tattoo artist.
Yeah, he goes to a guy in Venice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, like, but you know what, Alex? I don't know. He has cool tattoos.
Yeah, they're cool, no doubt.
And they're all really well done.
Yeah.
He has one on his wrist that's like of this like screaming gorilla, and I think it's the same one that Conor McGregor has on his chest.
Oh, isn't that a lion?
It's a gorilla.
The gorilla?
Yeah, pretty positive. Remember, we just saw the McGregor fight. It was a gorilla.
Yeah.
Because I remember looking at it.
For some reason, I keep thinking it's a lion.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a gorilla. But for some reason, I don't really follow UFC. But when we saw that last McGregor fight, we beat the shit out of that one guy in like 10 seconds, like less than 10
With his
seconds.
shoulder, yeah.
That was insane. You know, I don't watch a lot of like sports, you know, but that was like something you want to witness. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the Wilder fight that just passed this weekend.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I didn't see it, so.
Well, I mean that one. You know, they say his eardrum may have bursted, blood out of his ears,
which is like career ending, isn't it?
Depending on how bad. I mean, if it completely burst, then maybe. But you know, he couldn't even like it wasn't even Wilder. Like it looked crazy. And then now he's blaming it on his suit that he came out with. I don't know if you saw
on his trunks.
No, like he came out with a costume.
What the hell did he do that for?
Because of Black History Month, so he came out with like this Black Knight King kind of a costume thing. It was cool.
I mean, I guess that's cool.
But it was like 40 pounds, and then
you know, it would have been better for Black History Month if he would have won the fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what Stephen A. Smith said this morning. And but he went out with the suit. He said it was 40 pounds. Put it on 15 minutes prior to the fight. Walked in, took a long time.
By the way, African American history should not be regulated to 1 month. You were saying?
The shortest month too.
Yeah. Oh, the shortest.
I never wanted to say it to anybody, but it's like that's so messed up. They give it to the shortest.
Yeah.
The shortest month. It's
like. They get extra days.
And where's
this year.
Mexican History Month?
It's September.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. I'm Mexican and I didn't know that.
But anyway, yeah, he blamed it on his suit. He lost.
On his suit.
Yeah.
Wow, what are you gonna do? I blame it on his terrible footwork.
Yeah, no head movement whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they heavyweights?
Heavyweights.
It was a heavyweight?
Heavyweights.
Man. For how much money would it take for you to any one of those guys, Wilder or who was the other guy?
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, to punch you in the face with the glove on.
Damn.
Like a headshot.
while you're getting tattooed.
I mean, would you even survive that? I mean,
Yeah, you can.
I feel like I would die. I'm such a
what
weakling.
kind of punch do you want them to give you?
A jab.
A jab?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a jab typically is towards the chin,
Face. Front.
face.
Yeah.
So they're breaking your nose. Your nose is done.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be a good excuse for me.
Unless you kind of turn.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, like if just you, like, or me, just stood there and took a punch from these guys, like we're not trying to like defend ourselves or anything. We're just kind of standing there. You know what I'm saying? It's like punching a rag doll.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd take at least 10,000 to take a punch. Nah,
I mean, what's the budget? You know, because I would take as much as possible, $1 million. Fuck it, because $10,000 is not a lot of money, dude.
But you're gonna survive the punch.
$10,000, I could pay.
How much you weigh?
Actually, $10,000, I guess, is a decent amount of money.
How much do you weigh?
I'd rather not say. No, last time I checked, I was 225.
Okay,
All
Wilder.
muscle, baby.
You know how much Wilder weighs?
About the same.
Just 10 pounds more than that.
Yeah, but it's all muscle, bro.
Yeah, but you're gonna survive. You have the same weight.
I mean, I know I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's gonna do some straight damage.
It'll
If he's rupturing a professional fighter's ear.
No, that was Tyson. Tyson Fury ruptured.
Right, I'm just saying, like, okay.
But he got hit behind the ear. Like right behind the ear.
He's gonna rupture my whole
right
brain.
temple.
My entire brain.
Well, I mean, everyone's different. I mean, maybe. But yeah, there was a I think it was Pacquiao was trying to fight Mayweather, and it was like years before they actually fought, and there was like a big old like argument as to like Mayweather dodging the fight and dodging Pacquiao.
Did they end up fighting?
They did eventually, but Tosh.0 was like on the rise, right? His show was getting very popular, and he would do these little skits like in the middle of the show where he would go out and like just he would either go out with like and do like skits with people like viral videos, people that were in viral videos and stuff.
Right.
One of the skits he did like years before they actually fought, Pacquiao and Mayweather actually fought, he went into Pacquiao's gym at the Wild Card Gym in Hollywood, and he stood there to take a punch from Pacquiao, and he told Pacquiao, just give me a hook. He goes, just give me a right hook. So he stood there,
and this was a random person.
No, Pacquiao.
No, Pacquiao.
No. Tosh. Daniel Tosh.
Okay.
He stood there and he gave him a hook. Boom, knocked him down. So he looked at the camera and he said, "Boom, that's how a man takes a punch."
Tosh 0.0, huh? Well, isn't what's his name? Mayweather accused of? Isn't he? He's a runner. They say.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you feel about that? Because I mean, as a watcher, I feel like you want to see two fools just going hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's everyone wants to see that knockout or the knockdown. But Mayweather is the greatest defensive fighter that we've seen.
Yeah, but this isn't fucking basketball. This is fucking
Hey, well,
people want to see the offense.
A win's a win. I don't.
A W is a W. I feel you, but I mean, but Mayweather being such a technically amazing fighter, I feel like makes boxing like golf, where unless you're really into boxing and understand the quote unquote logistics, I don't know if that's the right word, but like understanding footwork and understanding dodging and when to go in and when to block and all this, it's. No one's gonna, it's not that fun to watch.
Well, that's why
before I started playing golf, I would never watch golf. I love golf now. I'll watch golf all day because I play golf and I understand how difficult what they're doing is.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why Mayweather, he creates the show before the fight.
Right. Okay. So the talk up is the fight.
Yeah. Why do people want to watch Mayweather fight?
That's still the talk up though, because then there's it kind of like anticlimactic.
Well, I'll tell you that the majority of people that watch a Mayweather fight, or that have watched Mayweather fight, is maybe not because they're Mayweather fans, but because they want to see this motherfucker get knocked out.
Right.
That's
how many KOs does Mayweather have?
Very little. He has like 52 wins with maybe 25, 27 knockouts.
Have you ever heard of the boxer Rocky Marciano?
Yeah.
I think he's the only guy to retire undefeated.
No, he's not the only fighter to retire undefeated. But
yes, I think for a long time he was though.
He is a very famous one that retired undefeated. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Anyways, we kind of got on a boxing tangent here.
Yeah.
I don't think Jenna has anything to add to that. Although I do kind of want to focus on. I remember I was not that into boxing, but back in the 90s, being from East Los Angeles, De La Hoya was a big deal. Yeah. So if you were from East LA, like you were into boxing at least on a De La Hoya fan level, almost being like a Laker fan. Like a lot of Laker fans just watch the Lakers. They don't really watch basketball.
Yeah, it's true. Well, De La Hoya, because he won the Olympics, got the gold medal.
Oh, was that what kind of like catapulted him into stardom?
Yeah, well, because if you watch those amateur if you watch that Olympics when De La Hoya was fighting, a lot of people were saying like how fast he was, and that's really what won him the gold medal. So when he came, and then not only that, but he's from East LA.
Right.
He had that. He was very marketable because he had that smile.
He was good looking.
So, and then
I'd fuck him.
And then half of the other people, and then half of the other people that wanted to see him get knocked out by somebody, and he was way too fast for people. At his prime, De La Hoya was the shit. And
want to hear a funny story? When I was like when I was maybe like the third grade, somewhere around there, my family, again from East Los Angeles, from Boyle Heights, they had a photo. At the time, I lived with my grandparents periodically growing up. Like we would move a lot, and sometimes we would move into my grandparents' house for periods of time. So at this period of time, I was living at my grandparents' house, and there was a framed photo of Oscar De La Hoya, and I realize now it was a newspaper clipping, but I didn't know it. I thought it was just a photo. So because it was a newspaper clipping, it looked like it was really, really old.
Yeah.
And so at school we had show and tell, right? And I took the photo
Yeah.
To show and tell. And it was my turn, so I get up, I show the photo to everyone, and I go, and I go on this whole rant of like, this is Oscar De La Hoya, and you know, he's from East LA, and my family's from East LA, and it's so important to us. And I go, and I said, this family's been in my photo for generations, I said.
This photo's been in my
family for generations. You know, just trying to bullshit and give it some sort of importance. And I say it, and it doesn't even occur to me what I'm saying.
How old were you?
I don't know, whatever grade you're in, whatever age you are in the third grade.
Oh, okay, in third grade. And the teacher didn't say anything?
Like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah, like an 8 or 9, you know.
Yeah.
And well, no, quite the opposite. I go, this family's been in this picture's been in my family for generations. And I say it nonchalantly, like, and then I remember even thinking to myself, like, yeah, like I'm so interesting because I'm bringing like a family.
He actually comes to our barbecue every week.
Yeah, like I'm bringing like this family heirloom. And then my teacher goes, wait, that guy's only like 23 years old. How is that, you know, how can that be? And like, and what's funny is the teacher was the only one. I don't even think the kids understood what I was saying. You know, I didn't understand what I was saying, clearly. And the teacher calls me out, and I just remember her calling me out, and I don't know what I said or how I bullshitted or if I was just like, oh, like, okay, then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did she
I meant the frame. The frame.
Yeah, the frame. And I'm like, why did she have to call me out? Yeah. Like, what was the kid didn't know what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah, I know. She could have just left.
She could have just left. She could have took me aside and said.
Maybe she was a huge De La Hoya fan.
Nah, she was white. I remember. Her name was Mrs. Anderson.
Okay, maybe she was a huge anti-De La Hoya.
Damn, a racist? Yeah. Clearly she was a racist.
I mean, she doesn't have to be racist not to
like
De La Hoya.
She's a racist. That's the only way. Anyways, I just thought of that story. Oscar De La Hoya. Anyway.
I think I remember Sammy told me a story that he saw De La Hoya on the freeway.
Yeah.
I think like
the pain has subsided. It doesn't hurt as much anymore.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, those initial like.
Yeah, down here is gonna be the worst.
Yeah, those initial like where the veins at. Woo, man! I was like, holy moly, this is not how I remember it.
Wait, this is what I wanted. But yeah, they saw him on the freeway. I think on the 60, and he tried to kind of like hide. Like I guess he saw Sammy looking at him, and Sammy was still trying to figure out whether it was him or not. Because this is
when was this?
It was probably only like a couple years ago.
And this was at the MC.
Yeah, he was telling me at the MC, but they had saw him on his way to work. They were on the freeway, and for whatever reason, De La Hoya was on the freeway with him, on the other lane, and he was driving, and they saw him, and he like tried to. They said, and I think it was like right after the lingerie like incident, like. Okay. Yeah, like right.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, the lingerie shit.
No, I know what it was, but I'm saying like, what the fuck was that? Like, how did that come out, or what was?
Oh,
that?
there was rumors for a long time that
he was gay,
that he was gay, and that he was like wearing fucking women's, like he was a cross dresser, and shit. And everyone was like, there were some people who were like, yeah, that's just true. There were some people who were like, nah, like he's not gonna, like he doesn't do that. And then eventually the fucking photos leaked.
So it's true then.
Yeah, it's true. And then he came out and publicly admitted to doing it, and that he said he did it, that he's not gay, and that he just cross-dressed.
You don't have to be gay to cross-dress.
Well, what he said was he was just doing so much cocaine that he was out of his mind. Yeah, and that it made him cross-dress, and that he was going to rehab. So he went to rehab. And what? So be careful, kids. Don't do cocaine. Cocaine.
I can't.
That's what
I feel like I've done. I feel like I have a lot of data in that area, and I can't. I don't recall any time thinking like I really want to put a dress on right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so much. Although I don't know, so much cocaine.
Maybe he just didn't know how to.
I mean, like, look, like I said, you don't have to be gay to cross-dress. And if you're gay, so what? But don't blame it on the cocaine. Leave the cocaine out of this. You know what I'm saying?
You leave the cocaine out of this.
Like, people take drugs all day, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure you can meet cross-dressers that are completely sober.
Well, I mean, he was just embarrassed and he didn't know what to say, maybe.
And it kind of sucks that, like, look at someone like Bruce Jenner. I was listening to an Alec Baldwin interview. Alec Baldwin was on the Stern Show, and he was saying how his kid in the 90s or whatever, late 90s, whatever, went to school with Kendall and the other one, Kylie Jenner. And he was saying that Bruce was the track coach at the school. It's in like Pacific Palisades or something, and that there was like zero indication at any time that this guy, like, oh, this guy might want to dress like a chick or something. He was super fucking manly. He would talk about, like, oh, I played golf this weekend with the mayor, and he said you shake his hand, he practically rips your freaking arm off, like.
Well, I mean, maybe he just hid it so well for so many years. He was just good at hiding it.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, not maybe. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyways, but it's just, like, but it's a social stigma. What's his name? Oscar De La Hoya, being a boxer, a very manly, quote unquote, manly sport.
And not only that, but like women loved him, dude.
For sure.
Like girls.
Well, look at Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
Or like in Austin Powers when he goes, "I can't believe Liberace was gay."
Oh yeah, didn't see that.
Women loved him.
Ricky Martin.
But anyway, yeah, that was weird. Cross-dressing.
I mean,
women do have like much more comfortable products than than men. So I hear.
You put on a few panties?
Not recently. I might recall once as a kid. I think I was going to school and like. I think for some reason I didn't have any clean underwear, and I think my mom said, "Here, just wear your sister's underwear."
Oh, well.
And I did. And you know what? There was a lot more room in the front than I was expecting. I thought I was gonna be all constricted. But there was.
Hey, can you buy me some more of these?
They were silky. They had a little bow in the front.
They smelled nice.
They smelled nice. And pink is not an exclusive girl color.
I don't like pink.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Pink. Damn, remember when pink?
It's all about marketing with colors.
It is.
Girls.
Everything's about marketing.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Philippe?
I was gonna say, remember when like pink, when it was like it wasn't socially acceptable to wear pink, but then at some point, at least I remember in high school, it started to transition, where like girls like guys that wore pink, and they were starting to get comfortable wearing pink.
Girls, yeah, that was kind of recently, no?
Yeah, like that was the thing. Like if
it started to become that if you're so manly that you can wear pink and not feel like. Exactly. You don't have to feel that your like masculinity is being challenged because hey, it's just a color.
Yeah.
Didn't you say something about like with Ethan early on that he wanted a toy and he wanted the pink toy?
Oh yeah.
And that somebody was weirded out by it or something? I think it was you actually.
No, it was Ash, kind of.
Yeah, Ash, old traditional Ash.
But
she's like the Amish.
Also, I didn't like the way the guy was trying to like force it on us too.
What, the blue thing?
The pink.
The pink?
Yeah.
But he was like, "Look, I saw your son skipping in here. All right, let's
come on, let's be real.
I know. Come on, let's just nip it in the bud now,
or accept it now. Anyway,
that was the joke, Philippe.
He was pointing at a pink. I forgot what it's called. We were at the Sesame Street live on stage. Fucking show.
Okay.
At the Microsoft, right? Is it even called the Microsoft anymore? I don't remember. Anyway, it was in downtown LA Live.
Right.
We go outside during an intermission, and they have these. They're selling merchandise, and we go up to the merchandise. We're gonna buy Ethan a toy, and he points at. We ask him what toy does he want, and he's barely 2, I believe.
Yeah. Huh?
He's walking around, And he's able to talk a little bit. And we asked him what did he want. He pointed at this Muppet that's pink. It's like a fairy. I forget the name of it. It's a fairy Muppet, pink, very girly.
Very girly.
And he
says you.
Yeah. I mean, it's targeted towards girls.
Right.
And
damn Sesame Street.
He pointed at it, and then we're like, "Oh, you don't want Elmo, you don't want Cookie Monster," and the guy who was behind the
isn't
counter,
Elmo like a pedophile?
The not the Muppet, but yes,
okay.
the guy who controls the
who's the
who's the real
villain
monster
here?
Who's the real monster here? Anyway, so the guy, he was very, very, very flamboyant, and when he saw that, he was trying to really push the pink.
So what was he saying?
I don't want to imitate him, but he was.
You don't have to imitate him. I just asked what he was saying.
He was just like, "Here, he really wants this here."
He was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, oh yeah, super, yeah, very like that. And then
he wants the fairy.
And then he can. And now I would have bought him the. I would have bought him the fairy had it, and Ashley was like,
I heard
no.
Rory laugh back there. Getting the laugh, nothing like it.
Now I would have bought him the fairy had it not been for the guy really trying to push him. Like, no, you should, because your kid wants this, and that, and let him get whatever he wants. And I just like, oh man, don't fucking tell me what to get my kid. So I decided to get
that. I feel.
Yeah.
I'm like, let my kid, motherfucker. All right? Don't get your own kids.
So I decided to get him this like. I distracted him with the you seen those like motorized like spinning lights thing? Yeah.
Look at this, son.
Yeah, I was like, well,
look over here.
Look at here. So he chose that, and that's what we ended up getting, which I'm glad, because that was significantly cheaper than the.
Shit, it always comes down to financial, really.
Yeah.
Poor people are just not allowed to be gay; they're just too poor.
But anyway, yeah, that was that. But that was it. I mean. That was it.
All right, let's change the subject. Let's do more tattooed subject. No, it's all good.
I'm into this stuff.
No, I want Jenna to concentrate. Believe me. Have you ever considered getting a tattoo?
I know. When are you gonna get one, Felipe?
Me? No, not really. I do have an idea of getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
But I'm not in no rush to get it.
Yeah, when I was growing up, my dad, my parents are. They're such a weird. They got this weird dynamic, because like, there were times in my life when my mother was very strict, and my father sort of countered that with a lot of like, just being, not putting a political connotation on it, but like very liberal in a sense, like in his thinking. And then there were times when it was the opposite, where my mother seemed very lenient, and my father was the one being very conservative in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that my dad was weird about was tattoos. And he didn't want us to get tattoos. And he said he didn't want us to get tattoos when we were young. Yeah. So he said, wait till you're 25. He goes, if you still want to get a fucking tattoo when you're 25, then whatever. At that point, I'm not going to give a shit about you anymore. So,
which is good, because by then you should be at least developed enough, at least mentally, to decide, hey, this is not stupid. I want it.
I guess like, because I respect my dad, or because my dad wasn't, in a lot of ways, wasn't conservative. So I didn't feel the need to be like, well, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to show you. I did wait. And I didn't even get it when I was 25. The first tattoo I got, which was, a couple years ago, Jenna, maybe?
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And, but what's funny is, I always knew that the tattoo that I got, the first one I got,
was gonna be.
What it was gonna be. It wasn't actually not exactly, but the tattoo I have is a Led Zeppelin symbol. Yeah. And it's a little different, because I ended up picking a design that incorporates all the Led Zeppelin symbols. But originally, I was just gonna get the symbol for Jimmy Page, because he was. I'm just
gonna check the camera real quick.
Go ahead. And he was like my hero growing up. I worshipped that guy. I used to think everyone like I used to hate Jimi Hendrix. I used to think Jimi Hendrix was trash. I've since changed my opinion. And I just thought Jimmy Page could do no wrong. How does it look? Just press the red button. No. Oh, well, that's all good. We don't need fucking constant footage of that. Oops, sorry.
Anyway, what was your first tattoo, Jenna?
My first tattoo. So my first one is on my thigh.
Was it the cat one?
The cat.
Yeah, I remember you showed me that. That's weird to think that when I met you, you didn't have any tattoos.
I know.
It's weird that I've known you that long.
Yeah, for real, huh?
When I started at the MC.
It's funny.
It's about to be 7 years.
Dude, it's funny. I was talking to someone about this working at the music center. Like, it's funny to think of all these people I know at the MC now that I've known for like a long time. You know, that it's like, sorry. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, that like you or even like Mike, Guap, like we're all getting so much older now. Like when we, especially like Guap and Mike, like when I met those fools, like we were so young. Didn't seem young at the time. I was like 23, 24 when I met Mike.
Yeah.
And it's very rare to make friends in your 20s, like good friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it? I don't know. I feel like it is.
Well, they say your friends, like you cap off on friends around 25.
For sure, yeah.
And then after that, you'll just the number of friends you'll have will start to drop, and you really won't make any new friends after that.
For sure. It's kind of weird. Like, I feel like I've known you for a long time, but we didn't really become really good friends until we started doing the podcast.
Yeah, which was like last year.
Yeah. Before that, I was like, well, this is whatever.
Yeah.
I actually used to, like, kind of, I didn't like not like you, but I used to kind of feel kind of like salty. Not you specifically, but because I remember for a long time I would ask about getting on Setup Crew.
Yeah.
And you guys always fucking were like, nah. And like, I'm like, well, why not? Like, and it seemed like, and it was like, well, and I mean, I guess at that time, you know, we hadn't gone through all the shit that we've gone through now since I've been on. But at that time, I guess Setup Crew was just such a lucrative position.
Yeah.
That nobody wanted to give it up. So no, you know, it was like, you know, it was kind of coveted. It still kind of is in a way because we're still such a small crew.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who want to get on Setup Crew.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? People ask me, and I'll be like, nah.
No.
Nope. Oh, how do I get on? I don't know.
Well, now you understand.
Talk to Ruben. Well, when's Ruben here? Whenever you're not.
Whenever you're not.
You know who?
Don't say any names.
Yeah, I know. There was one guy. I was so mean to him, and I don't even know why I was. There's certain people like I see, and I'm just like, fuck that guy, and for no real reason.
I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah, but this guy, we work and we're okay. So like,
What did you say?
the people who don't work at the MC, they're not gonna know exactly what we're talking about. But I won't get too specific. But for a while, we weren't able to do ushering. We only could do Setup Crew, and without ushering, Setup Crew isn't as lucrative as most people think.
Yeah, just not enough.
And vice versa, you know, without Setup Crew, being an usher is not as lucrative. So anyways, which is why so many people want the position. But anyways, we had gotten taken out of the theaters and not.
We've gotten taken off. And
you know, we weren't able to usher. And then they finally let us back in after we like, you know, pretty much begged them. And one of the ushers sees me walking in, and I got my, you know, my usher uniform on or whatever.
Oh, I do remember.
And he goes, hey, you know, genuinely curious, you know, he goes, hey, I thought the Setup guys were out of the theaters. I thought they were out of the houses, you know. And I go, you don't fucking worry about what we're doing, okay? And he looked at me, and he was like, and I walked away, and then I thought to myself, why did I say that? Like,
it was that pent up aggression.
I guess so. And I'm like, why? I don't know, because I'm always like, why is everyone's always asking me, oh, what's up with them? I'm like, why is everyone so interested in what I'm doing? Okay, like, I don't know, like I've become like much more of a recluse, you know, with my life.
Well, I mean, you're part of
and then I think back about all those times when you guys would be like, nah, Setup's, you know, it's not open to the public, so to speak. And I used to get so angry. And it's funny. And I used to get angrier at Mike because Mike was like at that. We still are, but like at that time, like me and Mike were like really really good friends. We still are, but I mean we don't because we work together.
Mm-hmm. You guys were a lot closer.
Yeah, we're a lot closer. And I used to think like fucking Mike, like that fool's supposed to be my homie. Why isn't he, getting me in like this and that? But for whatever reason, I remember I used to cry to Balky's about it. And I compared us to you ever seen that movie Mean Girls?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's like Mean Girls. Like Felipe is Regina George, Louis is the other one, the brunette. Sammy's definitely the blonde. I go, and Mikey is Lindsay Lohan. They let him in. And I'm the goth chick. You know what I'm saying? That's like
You're
trying to like infiltrate from the outside. And yeah, I said, you even asked Balky.
Well, they say, be careful what you wish for.
I know. Now I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here. It's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
It was just when they were fucking with us that was bad. But
I remember one time I went off on a kid too. I think I told this story before, but
on a kid.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't even know if he works there anymore. But it was like a long ass day, and I was eating my lunch. And sometimes we don't get to eat when we're hungry. We have to wait to fucking
for sure.
Whatever we're doing is done. And then so when I finally got to eat, I'm sitting down in the lounge by myself, and then everyone starts to come in for work.
Right.
So it's probably like around 5:00. And this kid just comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you're on setup, huh? You Felipe?" And then he just looks up. He's like, "Oh, do you think I can? You think do I talk to you if I want to get on setup? Like I'm interested." Right. And I just look up at him.
Was it Gypsy?
No. This was a while back.
This is a while back.
This is a while. This is before you got on. I think it might have been even before Mike got on.
Right.
But I just look up at him like with my fork still in hand. And just
you weren't even supervisor yet, huh?
No, yeah, I was supervisor.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. But I look at him and I go, are you fucking kidding me, kid? Like I'm eating here. Like, do you think this is a very fucking appropriate?
You kidding me right now?
Best time to come and ask me about getting on
Yeah.
You snap your fingers and like Sammy and Louis come and just drag him away.
Take him out of here. Get him out of here.
Like, it's like your goons.
And I tell you, you know what? Just fuck off right now. I'm trying to eat.
So testy.
And I go, you want to talk to somebody? Go talk to. And at the time, Robert was the boss.
Right, Rob was the boss.
Yeah, so I told him to go talk to Rob.
So mean.
I told him to fuck off. I felt bad after.
It's funny. Like I walk around in my head thinking to myself like how pleasant I am, and then I just hear horror stories of myself. I said what? But what was I gonna say? Oh, well, the reason why I brought up Gypsy, he was another one who
was trying to get
early on he had just gotten hired, and early on he was like, "Oh, how do I get on setup?" Everybody sees us walking around, and they see our shirts. They think that we're legit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They think we're like mechanics. They think we got union pay and shit.
Yeah, that's weird too. Like having that feeling like.
Say what?
Yeah, grab my phone real quick.
Oh yeah. Well, so Gypsy comes up to me. Asking about it. What is that to do?
Put it right here, and then turn it on, and
what?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, for the podcast.
Wait, say it one more time.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thanks.
Cut that one out.
I needed to double check
where the bread is.
Orange was, so I'm not doing. Yeah.
So, anyways, he inquires about the job, and for some reason, and I've gotten to know Gypsy since, and he is a really nice guy, but for some reason, I didn't feel that hostility, and I feel towards most people for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, and I knew that he had just gotten hired, so I was like, you know what, bro? This is what I told him. I said, brother, broskies, brosov, I've worked here for 7 years. I go, I just got on setup. I've been on setup for about maybe 6 months. So don't count your fucking, don't fucking count your blessings, son.
Don't get your hopes
And don't
up.
get your hopes up. And but you know what? Gypsy now, he works for like Patina, and
he's doing good.
yeah, and
Yeah,
he
he's doing
works.
good.
And I'm like, and I see him, and I'm like, see, even though
People-
Gypsy wasn't able to get on because he was just too early of a hire, or he was too young in his hiring, he'd just been hired. I go, he'd probably be a good worker because he's clearly like, he if he wants something, he goes out and he gets it. He went to the MC and he came in as an usher solely to get a better job within the MC, and he did.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah, Gypsy's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He was reliable and
Could drop a couple pounds, but I love him.
Uh,
Just kidding, Gypsy.
doesn't even matter. He's like that's
That's
part
part
of
of his charm.
I don't know.
I'm such a dick.
Big old Gypsy.
Nah, I'm just kidding, Gypsy.
He's
You're
cool.
gorgeous, baby. You're gorgeous.
I think very highly of Gypsy.
Yeah. Does he even listen to the podcast?
I don't know.
I hope not.
It's weird though, huh? Like the kind of power people think we have at the MC.
I told Sammy once, because within the MC, within the guest services department, which is the ushering department, setup is top of the totem pole, really. It's as good as it's gonna get, as I like to say. But compared to all the other departments, like opera and CTG and marketing and maintenance and all these different departments they have at the music center, in that world, in the full-time world, we're right at the bottom. We're at the fucking, like, we're the scum of the earth, like they use us to do the jobs nobody wants to do, right? Isn't that why they created Setup Crew?
Yeah, we're like, imagine us like the Home Depot guys that stand up. No, like the guys that stand outside of Home Depot.
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah, you need somebody to do labor real quick, cheap.
Yeah.
Go get 4 guys from Home Depot. That's us.
and I was the same way. Like when before I got on Setup Crew, like I was dazzled by all the bells and whistles and the lights, and it just seemed like that's where it's at. Like that's when life gets good. All I gotta do is get Setup Crew, and smooth sailing from there. So then I get on, right? And after a while, I sort of realized the realities, of Setup. And I'm telling Sammy one day, I go, man, Setup Crew isn't really that great. And Sammy kind of looks at me and he goes, yeah. He goes, you have a point. And I go, I mean, sure, you're king of the ushers, but that's about it. Like other than, in the real world, we're trash. We're fucking, they don't give a fuck about us.
We're on top of it.
I really want ADA when I was an usher.
Same here.
But they never gave it to me. And I know who
Yeah, I got on ADA. I've been on ADA for a while, and I heard that there was talks of making me a lead. This was back when I used to do ADA a lot, and there was, they needed a lead. They needed, and I heard that there was some people who stood in my way, who made sure that I wasn't, and it's all good.
The bureaucracy, man.
I don't need it. I got Setup Crew now, motherfucker. What's up?
Oh my God.
Like, I don't need your ADA.
And you know what's funny? The ADA's, in a sense, ADA's kind of the same way. When you're an usher, you're like, every usher wants to get ADA. Yeah, even I was the same way. I want ADA, because like, there's same with Setup Crew, same with SA, same with ADA. There's a certain amount of freedom that comes with it, like where you're not in the regimen of being in the usher and being on zone and doing all this.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, so and that seems appealing for some reason. When you're an usher, it just seems appealing, and you get on ADA and then you kind of realize, man, like this is kind of whatever. Like it's cool at first, but what's funny is like I've been on ADA a long time, but I don't really get on that much. But like you see a lot of like newer ushers that have been around, that get ADA.
Yeah.
And they're just so fucking proud of themselves. It pisses me off. They just walk around like.
So cool because you just got ADA and you got scheduled immediately.
They're just like, they just look.
Like EJ is almost kind of a waste of your time. Like,
Look at you with your gold vest.
Look at you, with your gold vest and your walkie-talkie. How you think you were somebody? Ah!
gold vest. Your patron right there rolling around.
With your tip, $5 tip. Go buy a Subway sandwich and shut up.
With your gold vest and whole thing on.
Yeah.
Because you could just wear tennis shoes instead of dress shoes. Huh?
Hey, good thing.
Look at me.
Good thing half the audience is MC because.
Nah, we're just fucking around. We're just fucking around. None of the 88 people.
No. I'm talking like because this is like super.
This is
exclusive.
very niche for sure. But fuck it. You know, we ain't got none. 80. Let's talk about the whole staff because I can trash them for about an hour. I'm just kidding.
We're not trashing anybody.
I am. So back to the original. I was gonna say, you know, if you Google simplistic Star Wars tattoos,
Back to tattoo.
To bring it full circle.
to bring it full motherfucking circle.
So-
I don't know. There's cool. There's a cool tattoo you could get where and it's just like a couple lines, but it looks like it's an X-wing and a TIE fighter, and they're in like a dogfight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that would have been cool.
So it's like an X-wing chasing a TIE, instead of dogfighter, a TIE fighter, and it's like it's done in like a weird like just like I said, lines like a stick man kind of thing. Where it's just like a couple lines, but then. So it's all black. So TIE Fighter's black, X-Wing's black. But then the TIE Fighter... No, I'm sorry. The X-Wing is shooting the TIE Fighter. So in between them is like these two green lines. So the green is like the... You know?
Yeah.
That one was pretty cool. I consider that one, but... Anyways.
How about when we're taking tickets?
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, the guests, they're always...
Yeah, like...
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Oh,
my God,
yeah.
Star Wars.
I want to hang myself every time I say that, dude. That's one of the main reasons why I stopped being a ticket taker. It's because I heard that sounds like Star Wars about a million times.
I know.
I couldn't take it anymore. I was gonna take a flamethrower to that motherfucker.
I forgot
I
who.
got to the point where I was just looking at guests with this serious look on my face. I hear that every shift.
Right?
I
do this. I would do this. I go, right? As soon as they're gone, I'm just like, you stupid motherfuckers.
Goddamn. Well, I play along. I entertain.
Well, that's the thing is
Yeah.
that we work in guest services, right?
Yeah.
And I always tell my ushers this now that I'm in a supervising position. I always say, look, I know what it's like to be an usher, and I know how easy and lazy this job can be. I go, but you know what? You could be a really fucking good usher and still be fucking lazy as shit and like almost do borderline nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All you got to do is just when a guest needs help, just fucking help them and like really help them. Like be nice, be attentive, try your hardest because the requests are never
They're not that
that
hard. And if they are ridiculous, I mean.
Yeah, and then if they're like amazingly ridiculous, you just call me and I got you. But if
this guy wants me to take off my shoes, is that okay?
Yeah, this guy wants to take pictures of my feet. Is that all right? Yeah, it's all right. Let's do it in the restroom. But for me, like, I don't know. I do kind of like take pride in my job, Like sometimes there's days where I'm on zone. I'm just putting out fires left and right, dude. Seating, boom, 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 boom. And like the head ushers don't hear from me once because
like,
I'm just
damn, I'm good.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I do feel that way. I'm like, man, I'm fucking really good at my job. Like, there's times where like, Jenna's our supervisor, believe it or not. And
I think they believe it.
Believe it or not,
yeah.
she's our
Believe it or
supervisor.
not, the rest
I
of
mean,
the
look at her.
guests are listening to this.
But sometimes the head ushers never hear from me because I'm just so beast at putting out fires.
That's how I tried to do when I was a senior.
Yeah.
Didn't call anybody until it was last.
Well, I mean, because that's kind of how our job should be. It should be like that.
That should be anyone at any job. Take pride in. My mom always used to say that. Take pride in your job. And like, I was so obsessed with being lazy. I just be like, fuck my job. Fuck everything. But like, if you want to move up in the world, you got to take pride in your job. Even if you're a fucking dishwasher, be the best fucking dishwasher you possibly can.
Yeah. How's that tattoo coming along?
It's good. Remember when I said I'm not turning on my pain sexually? I don't know. It's kind of getting into it.
Oh no!
Oh God! Oh shit! I'm getting a boner.
I think my dad's gonna watch this.
Oh,
Oh,
just
shit.
kidding.
My bad.
I met your dad. He's a cool guy. Doesn't seem too uptight. Too uptight. I'm just kidding.
Dad's cool. He's
Yeah, your
watching
parents
the
are
dog
cool.
Right now, so he's a trooper.
Where's he at? Oh, he's watching your dog.
He's watching the dog. Yeah.
Cool. Anyways, we're actually already coming up on an hour. Look at us. We just put out podcasts like nothing now.
Yeah.
Ain't even a thing. So we wrap it up. I mean,
yeah, if you want
we
to.
usually do about an hour.
Oh, you want to wrap it up then?
Well, just the recording.
No, yeah, just the recording.
Yeah, we can stop the tattoo too. Just leave it that way.
Just leave it the way it is.
1/3 finish.
What is it looking like?
It's looking dope.
Looks good. I'm
Let me
into
see.
it.
Check the camera.
When the stencil comes out good.
Well, you know, before we wrap it up, let's do this real quick. Before we wrap it up, you know, we had actually been planning to do this for a while with Jenna. Just I don't know. I guess we just thought it'd be a cool thing to do on the podcast. But let's plug Jenna. If you want a tattoo, message her on IG. We'll put her IG in the description. Yeah, if you work with us, approach her at work. She does good work and she has reasonable pricing. You know, she only charged me $12,000 for this tattoo. Only. Can you believe that? My entire tax return. And
That would be a crazy tax return.
yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Felipe told me his tax return. I was like, holy shit, I need to have some kids.
Hey, don't release any of that information.
Hey, everyone. But what? So it's Jenna Art, right? Just Jenna Art.
I changed it. Jenna Loredo tattoo.
Oh, okay. Jenna Loredo tattoo. Look her up on IG,
_tattoo.
and we'll have all that information on the link. Jenna, thanks. Say hi to the camera. Nice. Hey, everyone.
Sorry we couldn't get a better angle on it.
Yeah, remember we're a DIY
Right.
podcast.
I'm happy to be here. So thank you guys for having me.
We love you,
It's an
Jenna.
honor.
I always love coming to your apartment. You can't see it, but Jenna has they have every video game known to man, every video game system known to man in this apartment, which for nerds like us is a big deal. All right, any last words, Philippe's?
No, just everyone comment, subscribe.
Like, follow,
Yeah.
press that bell button.
I also got a suggestion from
Yes.
Angel, actually.
Pacheco,
Yeah.
another one of our loyal listeners.
And I was thinking, anybody listening right now,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a podcast, if there's a clip, leave a comment, email, talk to me personally. You guys see me at work.
Yeah,
If you want me to
I
cut
talk
it out,
to Felipe all the time. He's very pleasant to talk to.
yeah, I'm a nice guy. Except for that one guy who talked to me when I was eating lunch.
Right.
Just don't talk to me when I'm eating, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look at him.
Talk to me about setup.
Yeah, okay. Don't ask for a job when I'm trying to eat my lunch, because I'll gut you
Anyway, but
emotionally.
if you see anything from a podcast that maybe I can cut from a clip, I'll cut it out for you. Just leave me the suggestion.
Oh yeah, we do the clips
and
now.
we'll put it up on the YouTube and Instagram.
Oh, and follow us on Instagram at the Rev & Filo Show. Pretty straightforward. The great thing about our name is that nobody has it
Yeah.
because no one's dumb enough to probably podcast that.
Yeah.
So all the handles are just the Rev & Filo Show.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. See you next time. Jenna, thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Have a beautiful day.
It's clean.
Tattoo done.
Thank you, Jenna. Fucking
Jenna. That's all Jenna.
a TIE fighter, and I can have my own dog fight.
It looks good.
Yeah,
Peace.